September 19th, 2024. Manila. For Javier, every moment inside this stuffy mascot costume was a fresh layer of hell. The air was already a thick, soupy haze, but inside the foam head, it was a private sauna of despair. He was handing out flyers, each one feeling like a piece of his dignity torn away and scattered on the grimy pavement. But the pay, 600 pesos for 6 hours, was a lifeline. 100 pesos an hour. The math was a constant, humiliating chant in his head. This wasn't just about him. This was for his mother's medications, for his little sister Lila's school allowance. Pride was a luxury he'd traded for survival a long time ago. He could feel the sweat tracing itchy paths down his spine, the laughter of children, the whispers of teenagers. It all felt like a personal attack. He tried to focus on the goal, the clink of coins that would buy his mother's blood pressure pills, the food that would go into Lila's lunchbox. He was a scholarship student at the University of the Philippines, tuition free, yet on the verge of being kicked out. How could anyone study when just staying alive was a full-time job? His grades were in a terrifying freefall. Just a few more hours, he told himself. Just endure. But then the world started to tilt. The honking vehicles turned into a distant hum. The ground wobbled under his feet. Not here. Please, he thought. He stumbled, reaching for a lamppost, but the heavy mascot head threw him off balance. The flyers scattered from his grasp like fallen leaves, and the world faded into a cool, welcoming darkness. He woke up to the sharp, clean smell of antiseptic. White ceiling tiles, a faded blue curtain, an IV line taped to his arm. He was in a hospital, and the first thing he felt was a crushing wave of guilt. How much would this cost? Javs? A small voice cut through the fog. It was his 10-year-old sister, Lila, curled up in a chair beside his bed. Her school uniform was wrinkled, her eyes red. "Kuya, you scared us," she whispered, her small hand gripping his. "They said you fell on the street." "Where's Nanay?" Javier managed, his voice a rough croak. "She's at the admin office talking about the bill," Lila said, trying to sound hopeful. "She said it might be free because this is a public hospital." But that didn't help. The image of his frail mother, who already skipped her own medicine to save money, now fighting with hospital staff because of him. It was a new kind of pain. Lila grips his hand tightly. "Kuya, you can't keep doing this," she said, her voice trembling. "You're not a robot. What if next time you don't wake up?" Her words, so simple and true, hit him harder than the fall. She was right. He was walking a tightrope, and his family was standing right underneath him. The door swings open, and his mom steps in, looking older and more tired than he'd ever seen her. But her eyes softened the moment they met his. "Javier," she breathed, a mix of relief and reprimand in her voice. She softly pushed him back down when he tried to sit up. "Don't move, Anak. The doctor said you need rest. You pushed yourself too far." He could only nod, a lump forming in his throat. "I'm dragging them down. I'm a burden." As despair threatened to swallow him whole, something impossible happened. A soft, crystalline ding echoed, not in the room, but inside his head. System detected. Reconstruction system initializing. Javier's eyes snapped wide open. Hovering in the air right in front of him was a translucent blue screen. Its light didn't touch anything in the room. His mother, stroking his hair, didn't flinch. Lila, still holding his hand, saw nothing. "Welcome, Javier Reyes. You have been chosen as the host of the Reconstruction system." "What in the—" he breathed. "What is it, Kuya?" Lila asked, her face filled with concern. You don't see that?" he stammered, pointing at the floating text. "Right there, a blue screen." His mother and sister stared at the empty space, their confusion quickly turning to alarm. "Javier, you're seeing things?" His mother's voice cracked. "Maybe the heat stroke was worse than they thought." Kuya, please be okay, Lila pleaded, fresh tears welling up in her eyes. The panic on their faces was too much. He had to stop this. He forced a weak chuckle. It's nothing. I'm just tired. My eyes are playing tricks on me. It was a flimsy lie, but it was all he had. They didn't press him, but the worry never left their eyes. Meanwhile, the blue screen remained, patient and unmoving, and then it displayed more text. A manual. Core functions. Decomposition. Break down any non-living object into its base materials. Reconstruction. Reform decomposed matter into a new object. It detailed different types of reconstruction and a few simple rules. 1 reconstruction per day, but unused ones would accumulate. He couldn't create life, and he couldn't make something from nothing. He had to break down an object to rebuild it into something else of similar size and mass. Then he saw the examples, and his heart started pounding. Example reconstructions. Old cracked phone, brand new flagship smartphone. Rusty bike, modern mountain bike. Cheap knockoff watch, certified luxury watch with documents. Javier's mind raced with excitement. A system, just like in those novels he loved to escape into. A power to change things, to rebuild his life from the broken pieces, to turn junk into treasure. If this was real, if this wasn't some fever dream, then the entire equation of his miserable life had just been rewritten. Hope, shocking and electric, surged through him, burning away the last of his dizziness. But first, he had to confirm it. He had to get out of the hospital. He had to get home, be alone, and test this power. A new kind of determination settled in his bones. He just had to endure a little longer. Thank you so much for watching the first chapter of our story. What do you think Javier should reconstruct first? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see what happens next, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We'll see you in the next one.